Okay. So the point is, under network, the technical utility or tool we are going to use is known as listener service. Okay. So under that network topic, Oracle related thing is listener. And what I mentioned in last session, the listener will reside on server side, and it's must when if you want to connect database, okay, connect DB from end user. Whenever I'm talking about end user, means whoever is connecting to database through application. Okay, normally for complete software phase, nobody is connecting directly to database. Okay, so the application what is getting created or built, that application definitely going to be used by somebody, and that somebody we are saying here end user. Okay, so until unless this particular listener file will not be configured and up and running properly, software will not be able to connect or work. Okay, so this file should be available. So our responsibility is to configure this, manage and maintain this. When I'm saying configure, definitely from scratch we will be doing it. When I'm saying maintenance, sometimes due to whatever reason, we need to shut down, that means stop it, and again we need to start it. Okay, so when this, which point of time, what are the scenarios, slowly we will able to just get into it. Okay, so after maybe half an hour you'll able to get this picture clear. So start, stop. Okay, other than that, one thing is called reload. Whatever point I'm mentioning, all are very important. Okay. Okay. So this is going to be server side. So how it looks like. So what we mentioned in the default location for listener is what? If you remember, I said Oracle.
Oracle Home Admin Data Content.
Yes, Oracle Home, then network admin, right? Network
Yes.
admin, and under that, what is the name of the file? listener.ora. Here the confusion will be there, okay? Because this question will not come to your mind until unless I'll not just put in front of you. The question is, sir, is the name of this file called listener.ora, it should be listener only, or it can be anything? So the answer is default name. Okay, default name is this only. That means listener.ora. The next question was, sir, can we give any other name? Yes, we can give any other name. Can I give XYZ? Yes, you can give. But as per standard, either when you'll go and check the server, you'll be getting this name or another name. Companies are, I'm referring to big giant. Okay, I don't know about the small. Small is they, as per my personal experience, they used to keep this on only. The least bother what is what, listener.ora. But as per standard, we used to give in the companies whatever database name will be there. Okay, suppose a database name is ORCL. Okay, so the name should be, not should be, name the standard what we are putting, whatever listener keyword underscore database name. This way, this name. Okay. So name, the file name can be anything. Okay. But what is most important? Two part was there. Okay. Under one part, database related information was there. Okay. I'll show you again. We will do it this thing. Before that, I'm just, I wanted to give you a heads up to all of you. So what we will be doing that you will able to at least relate. So DB related information will be there in the on one part. And the second part, it is server and port related. Okay. And clubbing together, it is going to work as a one set. Okay. One set. This two thing, it's one set. Okay. So this is for configuration. After doing this configuration, the next step will be, so the first step is this, the configure. And whatever I mention in these thing, okay, this is just the configuration related. Okay. Configuration. After doing this configuration, okay, step number one. Step number two will be we need to start or stop, as I mentioned in the first, that means this part. This is step number two. So what we are doing, start or stop or reload. So I was mentioning when and how all these things is to be done. So what is the exact step you are going to start? Okay. So step number one, you have to type in command prompt. Okay. What you have to type? Simple. In small letter, LSNRCTL. Listener control is the full form. Just like we used to give SQL plus enter, it is going to ask for something, right? Same way, where we are writing SQL plus, so-called command prompt, where we will be typing LSNRCTL in command prompt. Okay. LSNRCTL space whatever listener name you gave inside listener.ora file name. Okay. So here it is going to be listener. And what is the default name? If you not give any listener name, what is going to be the name by default? Listener itself. So I have used this listener keyword at least 3 times. And you guys don't know which listener keyword I have used for which one, because inside you don't know. So one, I said listener file. So this is the listener file, and it is going to be a physical file, and it is a simple text file type of thing. You will open it, you will get to know, even will able to read it just like text file. Okay. So this is going to be text file. Okay. So this is one listener. Now inside it, I said something we need to give name. So this one set, and one set is to be named. What name? So one listener, the default listener, what I said is this one. So if you will not give any name, by default, it is going to take name called LISTENER, listener. Sir, can I give this listener name to my name? Yes, it is possible. You can give anything. So 2 times I said you can give anything. Okay. So one, the main where we are getting confused is this LISTENER, listener, and this my name. Okay. So if we are not giving name, listener. If you are giving name, whatever name. So my name I'm giving. Okay. One statement I'm taking back. Okay. What I said here, this particular file name, right? Listener.ora. Okay. So that listener name, I said you can give any name. So no, I'm just taking that statement. I just I was thinking for this and I just mentioned here. So the file name will be listener.ora only. I'm again repeating, file name, what we are going to have under this location. Okay. This location, this is going to be listener.ora only. But inside this, the name, it can be listener, it can be your own name. Whenever we are going to start listener LSNR okay, so here we are giving name, and that name I'm referring to this one, okay, this one, or this one, anyone. So what is going to be the exact syntax? How we are going to write it? So exact syntax will be, this is a full thing, what we are going to use. This is command prompt, LSNRCTL space start space LISTENER, or you can give my name. Okay, so listener start, okay, and whatever name we have mentioned, and that name I'm referring, which is available, this one only I'm referring. So listener start, listener name. Same way, if you want to stop it, LSNRCTL stop listener name. Okay, so suppose I'm giving my name or my name. So start stop is there. Why we are doing this? If this service will not up, no user from end, maybe application, okay, maybe from directly any tool, maybe SQL plus, nobody will able to connect directly to database. So that is a very, very important service. Should be running in server side to make any end user connection. And same thing we are going to do right now. Okay. And after I'll show you one thing, whatever steps I mentioned, and again, I'll revisit to this particular page and we will conclude it. Okay. So whatever I said here, same thing I'm going to do, show you all practically. So the very first time we should set the parameter database related set or INV. until unless we will not set that, none of the basic command will work. What none of the basic command I'm referring to? 1, 2, 3. This thing we don't know so far. Just I'm saying these all are the thing in Oracle we will be using in coming days. Few we have already used. See, these are the basic commands we will be using in coming days. Few we have already used, like DBCA, we know. SQL Plus we know. LSNR we will be using just starting now only. Okay, so very important note that we have to set the environment. Okay, unless it is not set, it will not work. Why? Because it is just referring to exact bin or executable file. That setting path will let environment know that, okay, this is the genuine command what we all are giving, and that genuinity will be proved on the location what we are putting, and it will work. If the keyword we are giving, it will work for sure. So here I'm giving Ora env, and after Ora env we have to give, so database name is ORCL, and now we are going to start the listener part. So before going to listener, I'll go to the default location. It's very important. Okay, few of the keyword I'm just going to repeat little bit more time. You might be thinking, sir, why you are repeating one statement again and again? So there's a big reason. Okay, so network, and under that admin. So what I'm doing, ls-ltr, see, as I mentioned earlier, is there any that tnsnames.ora or listener.ora is available here? No. But as I mentioned, there is a sample file, right? See, this is sample folder. Under that, if you'll go, see, SQL.date Ora is one file is there. We'll discuss on that later on, but we will be focusing all these three, but start with this, then this, then this. This two will be available in the server side, client side, and this will be available in the server side. Now, I'm coming back one step, and here now, the first time we are configuring listener, how to start? There is a utility or there is a tool available in Oracle that will help us to configure this particular listener service. Okay, and that tool is netmgr. Full form is Net Manager. Net means network, MGR means manager. So to manage network, Oracle gave one service utility tool, whichever way we can understand here. So the moment you will hit enter, one GUI prompt will open. See, and here we used to get confused because only 2 point will be there, but in this two, confusion will be there to start with. Okay, and that is the reason again and again and again I'm just requesting you all to do practice. And again, if you not do, God knows. Now, it is just highlighted on Oracle Net configuration, right? So we are doing configuration through this utility, this two. And under this one, there is a plus sign is there, local. Under local, we have to click. And the moment you click it, you will be getting two folder here. See, service naming and listeners. Again, I'm repeating, the thing will be like this. After clicking on local, you will be getting two folder kind of thing. And in this two, one, the bottom one is for listeners, what we are just discussing for last half an hour or 20 minutes. So, and this service naming was TNS names.ora related thing, what we discussed yesterday. I was just showing that three information will be there, which server the connection will go, which port to connect, which database is all. So what I mentioned, let me close it again. What I mentioned, that two file is there, this, so listener, what I was showing, and TNS names. TNS names is going to be the next one. Next one is the first one, what it says related to service. So if we will start with the listener one, we need to select listener here, okay? This one. If you want to do configuration for network, that means TNS names, here you have to select. So server side, this configuration is needed very, very, very much. Client side, this one. Now, right now we are going to focus on practically this one, and then this one.
Sir?
You have... Hello?
Hello. Yeah, sir, netCA is not available in Linux.
Both are available, but netCA is a little bit old thing. That also I'll show you. This is advanced one.
Okay.
Okay, so when I learned with that netCA. Okay, still the thing is there, but this is much more advanced. And okay. So both are same. On that, some less feature utility are available on that netCA, but here you are going to have more control. Okay. Now, in this, we have to select, and if you'll click, as I mentioned in the diagram here, this one, this part, one set. One set means one listener. You can create n number of listener in one particular server. So one set is there, like 2 set, 3 set, 4 set. Just like, sir, why we need 2 set or 3 set, or why we are looking for 2 listener, 3 listener, 10 listener. In one server, we may have 10 database that we know. So for each and every database, we need something, right? And that is the reason it can be many, more than one, because we may have more than one database in server. Now, we have to click here. By clicking here, if it is coming 0, none, you will assume that listener file is not available. And that's true. Remember one thing, whatever step we are going to take in next 10-15 minutes, all the steps will be permanently written in listener.file only, listener.ora file. What I'm trying to tell you all that right now, no file is available. So the moment I'll put some information then and there in the background, one file known as listener.ora will create. And let me show you that. I'm just opening another window just to give you guys the picture clear. Just give me 1 minute. I'm just I'm just taking another terminal and I'll go to same location. Okay. CD. First, I need to set. Then ORCL. See, nothing is there. Now I'm going to this and I'll show you. So after selecting listener, there is a plus sign. Okay, so either you can click on this or you can go and edit, create. Anyone, both are same, exact same. We used to prefer definitely why to click 2 times. Simply click on this. And this is the name I was referring to. So I said 2 things earlier. One is I said this one, listener.ora, that the file name, and inside it name. I said 3 things. If we will not give any name, by default name is listener, and that by default name we are looking here. See, listener. So that name means you can give your own name also, or any other name given or suggested by the company where you are working. But if will not give anything, this thing will be there. I'm giving OK. See, but inside this file, I'm just saving it. Okay, unless you not save, permanent thing will not reflect. That means the listener.ora file will not be generated. Okay, so what I'm doing, file, just save. Okay, save network. That's it. Okay, so though it's blank, unless we'll not put some information, it is not going to just give permission to save it. So we need to go further. So further step is, again, here you have to first this, on that we clicked on plus sign, we got this one, and under that you will be getting some option to feed input. What kind of input? What is the port number? What is the host? What is the database? These 3 things we have to put. Few of you were asking last session, sir, on that side, this side, both we have to give. Yes, I reply saying that, okay, if you don't have your house, how you're going to have the house number? And if you don't have your house number or street number, what about that address, so-called address? How people will reach you? So we are just, house is already built. That means house here is database. Now we are dealing with all the registration so that you will get the permanent address thing. So here, this particular thing will help any outsider to reach, and that is the address. So address is going to have 3 information. So we need to put it here: database name, host name, port number. How to put it? So in the down, you might be, there's a line there. Okay, so you might in your system you might need a little bit clear here. Due to resolution, it is showing just line. So you have to click here. Okay, the moment you click, see, listener location, database service, so this thing will come. So by default it is there in the listener location. So by putting 2, so listener location 1 and database service 2. If you remember, I said here 2 set of information is there, right? So that 2 set of information we are going to put by this 2. One is listener and one is database. So under listener, what I mentioned, under listener, I said server name and port. these two information we are going to give. And in the database service, we are going to give database name. Okay, so whatever is there, same thing I'm doing. So by default, let it is just listening location. So here, it's just drop down, you'll get it. By default, it is pointing to that location, listening location only. No need to do anything. After that, you come to just bottom, see, add address. You have to click on that. And by default, it will take that. You can change the port. But right now, I'm not changing. You can give any port here. Any port means any 4-digit number. There is a range specified. So we will be giving maybe 2280, something like that. So why 2280 only? Some range mentioned by Oracle. We have to put within that range only. But by default, let it be 1521. As I mentioned in the last session also, default port for Oracle database connectivity is globally known as 1521. Okay, so that's what I'm putting. So host name, localhost, local, global. Okay, because we didn't give any name here. If we gave some name to the server, you can just take that name, you can put it here. Yeah, go ahead, Pallav.
Yes, if I configure two listener for two different database in the same port, it will be any problem? Will it be any problem? I mean, for two different database,
it will not take basically.
Oh,
You're not able to configure itself. It will give
okay,
error.
okay, okay. So we need to put a different port number for each and every listener.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
It is just like, can we give same area, same house number? No, same way here also, because this is the main thing. It is helping us to make connection. Okay. Now, it might happen within that, you can have n number of database. That can possible, because in the one apartment, we may have a number of different houses, right? So that can be done. But this for 11521 or whichever port you are giving, okay, that cannot be repeat for different listener or another listener if we will create. That we have to make sure. It will not take itself. It will give error. So 1521 cannot be used, what I'm trying to tell you, in this particular, listener. Okay. So here, two things is done. It came automatically, or you can put it. What two information I'm referring here? This one. And the server port and server name is done. What is about another set? Another set means I have to go to that, and I said database. Here also we have to add. And here you need to mention database name, ORCL. Okay. Sir, how we will come to know this will be ORCL? If you will go in your database and if you will check so parameter global DB, you will be getting this name only. So the default scenario, always you will be getting whatever SID is there, the same name will be there for global DB name. So global DB name and SID is by default going to be same. Sir, in which situation we will be changing in all those thing? Okay. So again, when we will go in advanced, that there is a difference, like rack data guard when we will configure. So that time it is going to matter a lot. Now both are same, no difference. Okay. So two configuration we have done. One is this listener location, under listener location. What was there? Location port. Another one, database. Database is this. As I mentioned earlier, that under one port we may have n number of database running. I can add it database, another database. See, I can give another C, database 1, database 2. So one port will help to make connection with more than one database in that server. Okay. Right now we have only one database running. So this is no use. I'm removing it. And now see, if I'll go and tell you all here, same command ls minus ltr, see, nothing is there, right? Always and always remember, whatever configuration, whatever change we are doing in this, okay, you have to save it for sure, okay? Otherwise, every configuration is gone. The moment you save, okay, see what is going to be available for us. Same thing before, few seconds back, nothing was there, right? Called listener.ora. See the difference. And difference is we got the file name. Listener.ora. Now, if you will read it, okay, see what I told you all, two set, right? This is one, and this is second. First time we gave what? Listener related to. What information we gave? Two information, right? One is the host name and another is what? Port number. And the second, what we gave? I mentioned in last session that it is going to have some standard format. Yes, this is the standard format. If you will just remove by mistake any one of maybe this bracket or any name, it's gone. Nobody will be able to connect. Make sure to start with, we will be following the same process to configure it. What same process I'm referring here? This way. Once you are comfortable, we used to do what? Simple copy paste. Suppose somebody will ask me to create another listener for another database. I'll not go to tool and all those. What I'll do? Simple. I'll go to this file. Okay, listener.ora. I'll open it. I'll just copy it. Okay. Copy. And I'll come to this. I'll give and I'll put it paste. And I'll change the name. Instead of this listener name is there, instead of listener, I'll put it one. Listener one. Then suppose another database there. A database name is ORCL1. Okay. So I'm giving ORCL1. Okay. ORCL1. And here, definitely this is one. And port will be database host is same only, this one. Okay. I'll do what? This save. And that means right now, two different listener got configured for two, means one another database. Okay. And one thing we have to be very sure. What I did is port always. Okay. Port 1 is there, 1521. I put in 1522. Now, if you will see the tool, I'm just closing it and reloading it again. Means, and you'll see the reflection what I did. So what I'm trying to tell you all that tool will help us to do configuration with the exact format what we're supposed to have. Okay. But that can be done internally the way I did it. But you might be thinking, sir, you did a lot of this change, that change. So that will come through practice. Nothing to worry. Okay. And if you see here now, listener, see how many listeners you are getting. One I create manually. One was there through tool. And if you see that information is going to be read. See, everything is same. Now, if you go to see ORCL1 I gave, right? That's it. Okay. So what I did, as I mentioned, I just this thing came automatically. I didn't do anything inside this DB and server port. That three information I gave, I gave one by default listener. I didn't change the name, so the name was listener only. So listener.ora, you will able to just clear now. What is listener? That also you can able to realize. This listener is this one. This name I'm referring to. Okay, this listener. Two listener I created. One is listener, and this is listener one. Okay. Now the second. That means first step is this one. The one. This one. One point is done. Okay. Now I'll move to second point. Before moving to second point, I want to just ask each and every one of you, is it clear this thing? If not, I'll repeat. Okay. If any confusion.
So just one question. That SID listener list, sorry, it was list of the SI listeners. There was no heading, na?
Which one?
In the listener file. It was just cat the listener file. I forgot the no. In the yeah. This SID list listener. This list, total list. So we need to provide the SID list listener one for each. I mean, listener two for each and every listeners. I mean, it will recognize by itself.
No. I didn't give anything here. Just focus on this one. Don't confuse with that. Focus on this one. What I said. Because whatever I'm doing here, it is reflecting here. So ask question from here. What part you are referring to? List database. So it is there.
Here is that part is not here.
No. That's what I'm asking. This thing, database. This is the database. For one listener, one database is there. You give database name.
So just create one listener from this net manager. Another listener, please.
No. First clear this one. I'll go to net manager. It will mess up everything. I'll come to the net manager also. Nothing to worry. But first clear this one. What I'm saying.
It is okay, sir.
Okay.
It is okay.
Yeah.
Just create another listener from from this utility.
No. Let me finish this first. Once that we have to done, then I'll come to that. Now, so in this one, that means the first internal part is we have configure. Okay. Now, how to work with this thing? That means start, stop, and all those. Okay. So for that, we can close it just like file exit or pause it. And here, so you can sit anywhere. It's not mandatory that you have to come to this location. Okay. You can sit anywhere. Environment should be set. It's already set by me here. LSNRCTL. Okay. And the command what I wrote here is exactly C. LSNRCTL. Okay. Start listener. Okay. So I'm giving the same thing here. LSNRCTL. Start LISTE listeners, and hit enter. So here, just like we used to start the database by setting the environment, and then startup command. And after doing startup, we used to check ps-ef grep pmon. Why we are checking that? We are checking that to make sure database is up and running or not. Same way here in front of you, you can see, okay, listener started. Maybe to start with, this all information will not clear, but slowly we will be able to understand each and every part. Okay, so let me explain it to you a little bit. After starting this, okay, it is showing where the parameter files, where the location of the listener, okay, which port it is running, what is the log means, what is the server name, everything what we gave there. Okay, and now the name is this. Okay, which version of database you are using, at what date time it started. What date time it started means listener service. Okay, for how long it is running. It just started, so that's it's showing this one. Okay, and all these basic information. Okay, this thing with this particular listener, which all are the service. Okay, so we all know the database name is there. So here two things is there. One is if you see service is written, one is instance. Okay, so for us both are same right now. So you have to make sure whatever database name is there, it should be there. It should be available here. Okay, so this is going to give us status whether listener is running or not, or if it failed to run due to whatever reason, you will be getting error here. Okay, so suppose what I did here, suppose it's gone, and now I'll ask you guys, okay, can you please tell me whether listener is running or not? Question I'm repeating because the prompt is gone, or maybe by mistake I have started, but I'm not sure after a couple of hours or maybe next day whether listener is up and running or not. How you are going to check? Number one, whether listener is running or not, and number two, how you are going to check it is running for how long, and internal status. Because while starting we got the status, right? But after start, it's not that I exit means the service got stopped. No. Just like after starting the database, if you are coming out from the prompt, it doesn't mean that database is down. It's up only. How to check? Database we know how to check. But listener, how we are going to do that check? So ps minus ef grep tns. This is the command. And you will come to know whatever listener name is there. So it proves that listener service is running. Sir, I want to know the detail in which port it is running and that. So to know that, two-way available with us. Either open that particular file and see what port you have mentioned, that will be there. Another way, that how to know, sir, it is running for how long, which all are the service associated with us. That means here the Oracle ORCL is only there, but how to confirm? So another two ways there. It's available in the listener.ora file, or the another way is just showing lsnrctl. Okay, lsnrctl space status, instead of start or stop, status, and give listener name. Rest same will all are same, but here see, now it's saying for 4 minutes 57 seconds. Again if I'll create, see, it is showing 55:90. Again if I'll, so this is going to show us the status. If any problem will be there, you'll get error here. Simple. So what we found, just found whether it's running or not, and in detail, what is the location? Sometimes we get confused. So location is there, this service is there, port is there, all are available here also. So listener status, start, and if you want to stop it. Why to stop it? You need to do some configuration, some change. you need to stop, then do some change. What kind of change, sir? Maybe you want to add something extra here. Instead of, due to some configuration changes, management asked to just port the change the port number. Instead of 1522, you need to change it 22, or maybe another 40, 1540, something like that. So you need to shut down the service, listener service, then do the change, and then you have to start it. So what will happen if you will just go directly and change it? It will not reflect, simple. Until unless you will not restart the service, new thing will not reflect or not map with database. Okay, so how to stop it? Simple command, lsnr ctl stop listener name. So instead of this start, stop. It will take few seconds and it will just show us stop. See? And now if you'll give the same command, what? ps minus ef grep tns. Are we getting it? Anything? No. So this is about how to start, stop, status. Okay. So any confusion in this start, stop? Let me know now.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. We all have to do practice this. Okay. It's very easy,
Yes.
but if you'll not do today itself, again, everything will be mess. I'm just repeating this thing almost daily, many times. Yeah, that's what. If you'll do it, you only say after maybe a day, maybe next day, sir, ये तो बहुत easy है एकदम, इसमें कुछ है ही नहीं. And both are true. Condition is only one. If you'll practice after this session, it's going to be very easy. Okay. Anyone? All are good, right?
Yes, sir.
What about other?
Yes, sir.
We all are here, right? From
Yes, sir. Yes.
Subhadev, we
Yes,
all
sir.
are good, right? Yeah, because see,
Yes, sir.
this is very important, very, very important. And you're surprised to know people are not aware. We are having this very good experience, 5, 6, 7 years, but people are not clear with this one. It's not their fault because all the big companies hardly we used to do these kind of configuration. Only monitor. That's it. We need to know only PS minus EF grep TNS and PS minus EF grep that PMON or SMON, whatever. So we hardly get chance to work. So that's okay. Now, coming back to the same thing, what I'm doing here, I'm removing everything what I just created. Okay, removing everything, I created only one final. Okay, so and another option is there. What Pallav was asking. Okay, net CA, right, Pallav?
Yes, sir.
Net CA, right? Yeah, it's your turn now.
Okay, sir.
Now, here, same thing, listener configuration, right? I'm going next. This is again a utility for doing configuration. So definitely we are going to add it. Huh? If we have already something, so it could have just come with another pop-up. This thing is right now disabled, it will be enabled on that time. If any existing thing will be there. So no existence of file itself, I deleted everything. Okay, that's what it is coming like this. But very first time that thing will come only. Okay, fresh, the very first time when we will do, so as if I'm doing very first time. And this option is there in our book also. If you'll follow, it's not that I'm new thing I'm showing to you. But mostly we use netmgr. That's what netmgr. I'm not sure in book supposed to be there, but I'm not sure. Listener name, same thing. There also we gave, but different way. Now by default this port is only there. Next, which port you want to use? This is the standard or default port what I mentioned earlier. Okay. So okay, would like to configure another? No, only one listener. At one go you can just create many. So let it be like that only. Next, this thing. Next. So now see this thing finish. We started from here only, we finished. Now I'll go same location I'm sitting. See, came. Now you will able to realize. See, only one part got configured, correct?
Yeah.
So you need to just go and do another part. So you can do it, and I'm not saying that it's not going to work, but another part we here, what confusion was there? Now tell me what you had. So, because
No, in the first when you configure with the net manager, they were showing the SID list of listeners.
yeah,
For the second listener you have created, you have named the SID list listener 1.
yeah. So that is a database. What I'm assuming that I have another database in the system. That's what I think.
I was asking actually if I mean the list when we will be creating the second listener from the net manager, it will be taken the what will be the name of that list. I mean, you have put it by manually that SID list listener 1. So if I create a listener 2, then it will be SID list listener 2. That was I was asking.
Whenever we are creating any listener name, so whatever name will be there, okay, that name only will come there. Okay, let me show you in a sample what I exited, I think. Anyway, so let me show it. Okay, so here default is coming. Okay, and next thing is database, right? So this is database. Okay, now I'm doing add. So here what I said ORCL, right? So by default it will come like this only. This only what it came. Now with this listener, that means 1521, you want to make another database, suppose. What I'm assuming that another database is there. Okay, so what is another database? Suppose ORCL2, or I'm giving SHA. Okay, this is another database I'm assuming. Okay, so I gave this 2. That means for one listener, as I mentioned earlier also, one listener can listen multiple databases. Okay. So here I gave for one listener multiple database. So I can keep adding it. But as per standard, we have used to have only one listener, one database to avoid confusion.
Okay.
In real life, I'm saying option is there. Nobody wants that complication. Okay. So as per standard, but if I'll put it like this, okay, one is ORCL and one is this. See the difference. I'm just making save it. So will it work? The database name is not there. You are giving it. Yes, no problem will be there. But when you start it, that time it will ask and it will just search for that. But configuration time, no issues. Now I saved it already. Okay. After saving, if you'll go and check. Let me I'm just Control C. Okay. By doing Control C, you will be able to get it. Now, though I gave two database name, right? See the list. This got added two set. 1, 2. See, this is one set. This is another set. This is for second database. This is for first database. But this is see the name. Listener name is there. So under list, listener is there. But I'm creating another listener, then this thing will come. Whatever listener, suppose listener 2, or suppose I want to create one more listener with my name. Let me create it. I'm giving my name, okay? Under that, we need to give what? So I'm keeping
2. 22.
And under that, some database. So database I'm giving. It may be whatsoever. So I'm giving suppose test. Okay? Here I'm giving test. And I'm saving it. And I'm just exiting from here. And I'm showing you to cat. See, this is Upin. Same whatever.
Yeah.
And see another list. So what changed?
Okay.
I made it earlier. Listener was there. I made it listener 1, right?
Hmm.
So you can. So you should know.
Okay.
You should know where the change you are going to make. And I was knowing it.
Okay.
That's why simply I went and changed it. So this is 2 set. I said, right? This is 1 set. This is the second set. As if you see the figure, I made it here 2 set, right? So if you'll add more database, it will be there more database. Okay. And that is coming under that SID list. Now I'm starting both, and you'll see the difference because no database was there, right? Just put it forcefully. So ls nrcql start. Then let me start this one. Okay, so this is there, and one more. Let me start that also. ls nrcql One more question in the asked in the interview. The name, if you see, name these in capital letter, right? See? But if you remember, I gave small letter. So no issues, okay?
Okay.
Yeah. But what about, suppose if I'll give the capital letter here? Okay? No issue. Already done. So this is not case sensitive, what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
And let me start on another one, LSNRCTL. Okay, start. TNS, okay? See. Now you can say, well, here small is there, running its caps is there. Why this? Because if you see the name, right? Caps only, right? See, but why it is showing here small? Because here status wise everything is showing this one. See, why it is showing that you will tell me in next session. Okay, why it is showing like this? If you'll do practice, you'll come to know. If not, you'll not. Okay, so this one now error part. So right now what we have done, the first phase only. If you'll remember, just this one. We yet to configure the another part. Another part means tnsnames.ora file. So far, we have just configured everything related to server-side service, and that server-side service is known as listener controller, listener service. Okay, few more things related to that. Let me tell you, and that few thing is, let me stop the service first. LSNRCTL stop. Okay. Before starting, let me show you LSNRCTL STA. So what we have learned so far to check whether listener service is running or not, what command we used to give? ps-ef grep tns. One another command is there. You can use this one or that one. Okay. So what is that new one? So sometimes you might be seeing people are using inherit, sometimes tns. So both are same here. Both way we can able to get same output. Okay, standard is TNS, but you can use it. It's depend on your choice. So both to know, we will be using this or that. Just like PS minus EF grep pmon we used to use, right? You can use smon also. Okay. But if a database is not running or what, just a PS minus EF grep. Okay, database is not running. Anyways, so here to check the status, either TNS or inherit. These two things we have to. Now let me stop this listener also. Stop. Now everything is stopped. If I'll give this command, LSNRCTL start, hit enter. So here I didn't mention the name of the listener, right? See, if I'll not mention the listener name, always remember it will start the default listener. And what is the default listener? If we will not give any name to listener, what name it will put? So internally, by default, if I'll put LSNR start listener name, whatever name will be there, it will start. If you will fail to, or if you will not give a name, it will go and search listener, and then it will start. Now what I'm doing, I'm just removing that listener name from our file. To avoid confusion, I'm not removing from here. Let us learn netmgr. In this, how to remove? Simple, select this one, okay? Yes. Don't fail to save. If you'll fail, the thing will not reflect in the file. Hope that is crystal clear to all of us. And then we have to come here and let's start now. Now see, service is running, you remove the content from the file. And I'm just trying to stop it now. See what will happen. LSNRCTL STOP. If you give stop also, it will go and search file, but I'm giving this name. And after that, the same thing I'm doing, start, okay? So we know nothing is there, that entry is gone. Let me see, so list cat, see, whatever related to the default listener, no listener keyword is available now. And if I'll give LSNRCTL start, I'm not giving any name, okay? So here, see in the bottom one, okay? So nothing listener wise and all those things not available here because we have already removed it. So it's trying to start that, and here nothing is there in this. But you're surprised to know one thing, px minus ef grep pmon, okay? Sorry, tns. Sir, you said you already removed it from where it is coming. No entry is available. Still it is showing. Why? Okay. So again, here I'm putting one question. And this is a very important question for interview. And it's a tricky one. It's not that some specific answer is there, this or that. No. But we have to know this, that I have removed, no file is available. Yes, it gave error, nothing is related to database thing is there. But how this port is showing, how this, if you check the listener status, LSNRCTL, listener status, see, nothing is there, but it is running for 1 minute or something. Port is getting allocated. For what purpose? Nothing is there. If you'll see here, if I'll remove the file itself, RM, suppose I'm done, see, nothing is there. But still, PS minus EF grep TNS there. LSNRCPL stop. If I'll give stop, okay, it is stopping. No listener configured, still start stop. Maybe yes, service is missing. How it is happening and why it is happening. Okay, so I am ending the basic. So what is the takeaway so far? What we have discussed? At least we will be, or we are in position to tell what is listener file. Number two, what is listener service? Number three, how to configure listener. What are the main two major components we have in listener? Okay, and how to do it manually also, just the way copy paste we have done. Okay, so the last part confusion was how come you removed everything, still listener port is active, it is getting used, it is showing. How and why? That is the question that you have to come in the next session. Okay, and the another thing, one question I gave you in last session, and that question is, what is port? P-O-R-T. Okay, so that answer I need now. And sake of knowledge, we know, I mean, all of us, whoever is there in this call, okay, we all know. Maybe true, false, maybe we will able to explain it or not, that is a different story, but we all know. We are using it knowingly, unknowingly. And to start with today's session only, I was just showing you all that the port, that means USB port, this port. Then we normally used to think port is this way, physical, some hole will be there, maybe square, maybe this. But why here you are referring to number? Is this both same or it is altogether different? What is your view in it? I just wanted to know on this. Okay, I'm stopping the screen now. And it's your turn. I'm giving 2 minutes for this, and at least whatever is there right now in your mind. Okay, so you need to tell me. Okay, I'm taking 2 minute water break. Just let me grab one bottle of water and then I'll come. Okay. Yes, I'm back. Pallab, you are the most eligible candidate for this answer. Because you guys have worked little. Yeah.
Port is something like there is when someone is coming to my house, I used to say that come from my front door, come from my back door. That is the port, and my house is my IP address.
Okay.
So when someone is coming to this IP address, something is coming to this IP address, it will come from the 1521 or 1522. That is my door.
So you are saying that the building address is the main entry, and main IP address you went till that, and if you want to go inside, you have to have a door.
A door or gate, something.
Okay. So if we are putting 1521, 1522, 1523, what exactly does it mean? That means you are referring is 3 gates are there or what?
Yeah, it should be like that.
Sure. That means for one system or machine, or we are going to have 3, 4 different gate for making entry. Okay, what about other? Sangmitra, next eligible candidate is you. Tell me your version.
So
Whatever you know.
it will basically be a interface or connection between two services, or if a device is trying to connect with something else or an application. So the port will be a unique, not gateway. It will be a secure or unique connection interface. So it will determine.
You have to answer me like that if you are explaining to your mom or dad, okay? Because this
Okay.
thing is too technical for them, right? So we make, just like Pallab said, ki it's some gate, okay, it's an entry point. So it's okay. Any layman can understand. Like, wrong or just right. That is we are coming, but that is simple, right? So you are saying interface. So it's a interface is having a lot of meaning. I'm not saying
Okay.
you're saying or commenting saying that is wrong or right. I'm not going to that part now. But at least we have to make very simple. So you first yourself feel convinced. Okay, whatever you are saying. So just try to put on this version the way I just said. Make it simple. So you said interface. So what exactly interface means?
I mean, when we go there, for example, there is a phone number
Mhm,
at a reception desk, and we call it that number, and we
mhm,
have to connect with another phone numbers.
mhm.
So that will be the first entry point, this port. And
Okay.
if you want to get it transferred to different services, it
Mhm.
will, that
So
phone number, that person who picked up the call will
okay. So
allow us or transfer us to other.
okay, so you are saying that one person will come to reception, and from reception, it is call got diverted to whatever room number or some other service. Okay, so the reception, when the call is going to reception, that you are referring port or what?
Yes, that reception, that one, that will serve as port. Physically, that will be one, but it might be identified as, no, it
Okay,
could not be identified as different numbers.
hmm, okay,
I mean, if you want to dial in, port will be physically, there will be one port, but it will be identified with different numbers. So
now, so physically the port is one, you are saying. So what about the, we used to say this is USB port, this is what for, we used to have for sound speaker, different type of thing. What is that? That also
in,
we used to say port only, right? Means in
yes, but
general. So what is
for
that?
specific, for one specific action,
Hmm.
I mean, the USB port will be different than the speaker port.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
for one specific action, there will be a unique port.
Okay. So what I understood is for different type of port, definitely. So where this number fits, because here port equal to 1521 we are saying. So how we can map or manage or just thought about this USB port with this number or some other port with the number what we are referring here in Oracle, what we have learned today. Port equal to something. So we need to just see, ask question to ourselves saying that, okay, first tell me, is it a hardware or software? Because a lot of, most of us get confused with this is coming under which layer, hardware or software? And question to all of you means, okay,
It's
Subhadeep,
a software.
it's software. Okay. If I'll ask where this software
No,
component resides,
no, not like a software. It's
don't
I mean,
say not software, not hardware. Okay, just let me come with who else? Subhadeep, বলো তোমার কি version?
think it's okay also.
What? Subhadeep, somehow I'm not getting your voice. Or maybe he have some problem. Who? I think Sanjeev's left, I think. Anyways, सागर कुछ बताओगे तुम? तुम्हारा वर्सन कुछ जो पढ़ाई की है उसके बेस on the basis of that? You are on mute, सागर, if you're trying to say something. अगर कुछ भी आइडिया है जस्ट शेयर कर सकते हो, अगर नहीं एकदम कुछ नहीं समझ में रहा है दैट्स ओके, मतलब ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि एकदम
तो
नाम तो
मतलब
सुनो
समझ
पहले ना, या
बहुत
नाम नहीं सुने हो?
हाँ
नाम सुने हो ना, पोर्ट पोर्ट करके हम लोग बोलते हैं, व्हाट एग्जैक्टली तुम्हारा वर्जन क्या है? मतलब
सर पोर्ट मतलब जैसे हम
Okay, let me just tell you. So whatever to start with, Pallav answered. Okay, that is the exact correct answer. What happened? Let me share my screen. Okay. Screen is visible, I think, to all of you, right?
Yes.
So here, suppose this is a system. This is the system what we have, and from outside world people are connecting to this. So in take example of this is one building. Okay, it may be big building, campus, stadium, whichever that place you can have with proper address. So yes, IP address you reach till boundary whenever we are having something. So the boundary. Now for boundary, or just take the building. If I'm taking building, so I'm just reaching to that. Now that building may have n number of entry point. That is maybe reception, maybe something called VIP entry, maybe some service gate or something. So different type of entry depending on what? Depending on uses, what type of use you are going to do. If it's a cleaning service, or if you want to transfer something, maybe you have to go through service gate, or service lift is also there. So different entry point is there. The main point what I wanted to give you all. Now, here, whichever different type of entry point we are referring, okay, so that entry point, I'm referring maybe A entry point, maybe this is B entry point, and the same IP, and C, D, I'm making 4. So that different type of entry point is what? Now I'm just treating this as a server. So definitely it's have some IP address or the host name, whichever. And depending on the type of use, the community, that means the as a whole, anything is there, some architecture is there in the bottom of the hood. Okay, so anything. So here, after going, depending on the type of use, what kind of connection, what kind of activity you are going to do in the server, they have defined logical security layer. And that logical security layer will be guided by that layer is there on operating system, OS. And here we are suppose learning what? Linux, right? Oracle Linux. So in the server label, if you configure your operating system, you have installed successfully, and in this OS, there's options available that these are the port or range of port. Okay, if you want to communicate with the server, those type of port or the number, you should open it. So what is that number? Again, in this number, it's defined by the international community. Just like for Oracle connectivity, there is a range, and by default 1521 is the port number. Same way, 22, you may have heard some port is 22. Anybody have heard it? What is 22 port? What is the purpose?
That is SSH.
So connectivity. So So somebody wants to connect from local machine to server directly. If this port is not open, you'll not able to. So these things, likewise many, right? FTP, then so different. So right now we are focusing on only 2. That can be 20, that can be 30. That is not the scope of discussion, but at least have discussion on this 22. Because from outside, in the server, somebody wants to connect, they should have, that means for you, that port should be open. If somebody wants to connect directly to database, okay, so that 1522 port should be open, or whichever port we have put in the listener, maybe 1521, 1522. So those ports should be open. Then only from outside somebody will able to make connection. Otherwise, it won't. So what is the story? Long story short here. This port is mainly available. It's a logical layer, security layer in the database, not in database, in the server side, controlled. The bare minimum label is operating system, controlled in the operating system. And on the operating system, with that options, you will able to made which number, 1521. Okay, you want to open it. So there is a GUI form will come. You need to put 1521. Then only you will able to connect. Otherwise, you won't. So just like I was talking about the building, VIP entry, this entry. So depending on different purpose, different use, they have designed or they have configured that thing. Here in the software layer label, that restriction is going to be there until unless that port is not open. Nobody will able to communicate with the server. Okay, and so-called this thing is coming under firewall. We all have heard this one, right? Firewall. What is this? This is this. We used to say that, okay, I'm not able to connect because firewall is not allowing us to enter this. What is this firewall is all about? This is just related to port only, these things only, that configuration only. Okay, so what is the conclusion? Conclusion. For maintaining security, all the systems have one layer and some standard port or the standard number defined globally for different type of task. Just like SQL Server, different port is there. Who defined that? That is definitely international community. Oracle, I said, there is a range defined by the community. Whenever Oracle connection, these are the range. And these things will be much more, very much in use when we will slowly today or tomorrow will move to cloud. So one of the basic thing is we need to open the port. Then only from local, your laptop or desktop, you will able to communicate to cloud system. Okay, so this is the story of it internally. So much as the DBA, definitely we are not going to deal directly. But yes, where we are going to deal directly, suppose we are doing any migration project. Migration project means what? You are going to get new server. You need to install database software because OS will be all set. So that database software, then database create. And now you will just do configuration for listener. Everything is done. Now, end user sitting maybe anywhere in the globe, they will try to connect. You did all the configuration perfectly all right. 1521, that port is blocked. They will not able to communicate. You need to raise the ticket or SR or some process used to be there, requesting that I need this particular 1521 port is open. That team, there is a separate team used to be there for all organization. Okay, they will verify whether you are the genuine requester. They will ask for your manager approval, and lot of processes are there. It's not that 1521 you want to just open within a minute you will get it done. No, never. It used to take a week time also. Again, why? Security concern. So in spite of having everything is in place, if port is not open, you will not able to communicate from outside the world to the specific machine or the server or super machine, whichever machine we can say here. So that is the story of port. Okay, so what is, it's a hardware or software? Definitely is software layer in this. Okay, so this port and that USB and port, that is different. Okay, what here we are discussing, this port and the USB and that is different thing. Okay, so hope we are clear. At least we got little clarity for sure.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you all.